You're carrying so much inside you right now, even if no one else can see it. The plans you made, the worries you replay late at night, the quiet fear that you might be running out of time, money, energy, or answers. You smile when you have to. You show up when you're expected to. But beneath that, there's a heaviness that's becoming too much to carry alone. It feels like you're holding your breath, waiting for life to finally make sense. And honestly, it's exhausting to keep believing when life keeps testing you in ways you never expected, isn't it? There are moments when you try to map everything out in your mind. If I just do this, maybe everything will work out. If I just move there, maybe I'll find love. If I just wait a little longer, maybe something will change. You think about what you should do next. You think about what could go wrong. You think about how to protect yourself from disappointment before it even arrives. You replay conversations. You calculate outcomes. You wonder if you missed a step somewhere or made the wrong choice at the wrong time. And when things don't move the way you planned, you quietly blame yourself. You tell yourself you should have been stronger, smarter, faster, more prepared. But here's a truth that hasn't left you. Even on your hardest days, you were never meant to carry the weight of your entire future on your shoulders. Right now, life may feel uncertain in ways that tighten your chest. Money might feel unstable. Relationships might feel fragile. Your sense of direction might feel blurry, like the road ahead disappears just a few steps in front of you. And yet, somehow, you're still here, still breathing, still waking up, still finding the strength to keep going even when you don't know why you're being asked to. That's not because you're forcing your way through life. It's because something greater has been carrying you this entire time. There is a plan unfolding that does not depend on your fear, your overthinking, or your exhaustion. There is a design at work that moves even when you feel stuck. And the reason you're being asked to release your worry right now is not because your struggles don't matter, but because they are no longer meant to lead you. You've lived through cycles that changed you, periods where everything felt like it was falling apart at once, times when you did everything right and still ended up hurt, delayed, or disappointed. Moments when you prayed quietly, not with confidence, but with desperation, asking for help without knowing if anyone was listening. And yet, look at you now. Those seasons softened parts of you that were hardened by survival. They strengthened parts of you that didn't even exist before the pain. They taught you compassion, patience, and humility in ways comfort never could. The laws that govern this universe do not reward perfection. They respond to alignment. They respond to sincerity. They respond to the quiet courage of continuing even when hope feels fragile. You don't need to worry about how everything will work out, because the truth is, you were never in charge of making it all work in the first place. Your role was never to control the timing, never to manage every outcome, never to carry the weight of other people's paths. Your role has always been to live honestly, to choose integrity over shortcuts, to keep your heart open even when life tried to close it. There is something incredibly powerful about the way things fall apart right before they come together. You might be standing in a moment where your plans are unraveling, where what you thought would happen simply didn't, and it's tempting to see that as failure. But often it's protection. Often it's redirection. Often it's the universe stepping in because what you were trying to build could not support who you're becoming. There are blessings that can't reach you if you stay where you are. There are answers that only appear once you stop forcing the question. There is relief waiting for you on the other side of surrender. And surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that you don't have to suffer to be worthy. It means understanding that your value was never tied to how much you could endure alone. It means allowing yourself to be guided instead of constantly bracing for impact. You've been strong for so long. Strong when you shouldn't have had to be. Strong in silence. Strong in uncertainty. Strong while still showing up for others even when you were empty. And now something is shifting. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. The universe doesn't shout before it moves. It rearranges quietly. It loosens what no longer fits. It slows you down when you're about to outrun your own healing. It removes what you're clinging to when it knows something better is coming. You may not see it yet, but the very things causing you stress right now are already being handled in ways you can't perceive. Behind the scenes, paths are being cleared that you haven't walked yet. Timing is being adjusted in your favor, even when delays feel personal. People, opportunities, and resources are being aligned quietly, beyond your awareness, beyond your effort, beyond your control. And that's why worrying feels heavier than it used to, because it no longer belongs to you. It's not your burden anymore. It's not your responsibility to carry what is already being rearranged on your behalf. The human experience was never meant to be painless. You were never promised ease. You were never guaranteed smooth roads or perfect timing. But you were promised meaning. You were promised growth. You were promised that what you lived through would shape you into someone strong enough, wise enough, and open enough to receive what's truly meant for you. And the truth is, you are closer now than you realize. Closer than you were last year. Closer than you were in your darkest nights. Closer than you were when you doubted whether you'd make it through what tried to break you. There comes a moment in life where worrying no longer protects you. It only delays your peace. Where planning no longer empowers you. It only drains your energy. Where overthinking no longer prepares you. It only keeps you trapped in fear. And that's often the exact moment when a sign arrives. Not to scare you, not to overwhelm you, but to soften you. To remind you that you are not forgotten, that you are not behind, that you are not failing, that you are not late to your own life. You are being guided. The same force that carried you through what you thought would destroy you is still carrying you now. The same presence that opened doors you never expected will open doors again. The same power that held you together when you felt like you were falling apart has never left your side. Not for a single moment. You don't need to see the full picture. You don't need to understand every step. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to stay open enough to receive the next moment, the next conversation, the next opportunity, the next quiet nudge forward. Let yourself rest in that truth. Let yourself breathe without bracing for impact. Let your shoulders drop. Let your chest soften. Let your mind stop racing toward worst-case scenarios that were never meant for you. Let yourself believe, deeply, gently, honestly, that you don't have to earn what is already meant to be yours. Because when you live in truth, when you choose honesty over fear, faith over panic, trust over control, surrender over resistance, you align with laws far greater than struggle. And those laws do not forget devotion. They do not ignore perseverance. They do not abandon hearts that keep loving even when life hurts. They do not overlook souls that keep showing up even when hope feels fragile. You are being taken care of. Not later, not someday, not after you prove yourself, not after you suffer more. Now, in this moment, in ways you can't yet see, but will one day understand. Before you go, anchor this moment inside yourself. Write this in the comments, and write it as if you mean it, because words spoken in truth carry weight. I trust divine guidance, and I am being carried exactly where I need to be. Let that sentence live in your body. Let it replace the noise. Let it interrupt the fear. Let it become the story you return to when doubt gets loud. And if you know someone who has been holding everything together on the outside while quietly breaking on the inside, someone who smiles through exhaustion, someone who shows up even when they feel empty, someone who keeps saying, "I'm fine," when they're anything but, share this with them. Share this with the one who is tired of worrying about everything that could go wrong, with the one who is tired of planning every move just to feel safe, with the one who is tired of waiting for things to finally make sense, with the one who is tired of being strong without being seen, strong without being supported, strong without being held. Because healing was never meant to happen in isolation. Pain was never meant to be carried silently. Strength was never meant to be something you prove by suffering alone. Healing happens when someone finally feels understood, when someone realizes they're not strange for struggling, when someone hears, "Me too," instead of "Be stronger," when someone feels safe enough to stop pretending they're okay. Strength isn't meant to be silent. It isn't meant to be lonely. It isn't meant to look like suffering in secret. And hope, real hope, doesn't grow in isolation either. It multiplies when it's shared. It expands when it's spoken. It deepens when someone realizes they're not walking this road alone. Sometimes the greatest kindness isn't fixing someone's problems. It's reminding them they don't have to face them alone. It's saying, I see you. I hear you. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're human. You don't have to be strong alone anymore. You don't have to carry everything in silence. You don't have to pretend you're okay just to protect others from your truth. And remember this, sometimes the sign we're waiting for isn't something that appears in the sky. It isn't a miracle that drops out of nowhere. It isn't a perfect answer wrapped in certainty. Sometimes the sign we're waiting for is the one we choose to become, the message we choose to send, the comfort we choose to offer, the hope we choose to pass forward. Because the moment you share light with someone else, you become the sign you were praying for.